Hello, hello, hello. This is a good change of pace. So 17.1s meet 17.2s and 17.2s please meet 17.1s. I'm going to hand over the stage to Megha. Also, apologies for keeping you waiting for 8 minutes. Complete the earlier contest went over a little bit, but I hope that for the coming hour, we can create School of Future History. All right, I'm going to hand over the stage to Megha now.
Yes. So yes, I'm just waiting for a few more. I've got some more in there. So, but before that, we have another exciting session which is going to be starting. Just a minute. Yes, my kids are coming in.
So, for those of you who belong to 17.1, hello, aloha, I'm Nikita, and I'm the mentor for 17.2s. And for my lovely 17.2s, meet Megha, who is the mentor for 17.1.
Hi guys, hello everyone. Awesome. Okay. Yes. Hi Tyron.
Hi, Mega.
Hi dear. Yes, could you all please turn on your camera? I love to see you all. It's only on the Saturdays and on the mentor calls is when I get to see you. And of course, I would love to see even the other cohort students. So if you could please turn on your cameras. Hi, hey Alessandra. Hi, Evelina. Hey, Ren. Hi, Debasmita. Hi, Arnav. Hello, Nada. Hi, Anjali. And waiting for Yara, Jerica, and Amine. Amine, I'd love to see you. Hi, Yara. Great. We'll just wait for a couple more students to join in, and then we'll start off. I don't want them to miss on it. Yeah. All right. So welcome everyone to your first meeting with the other cohort. I am so thrilled to give you a chance to meet each other. Since you're all at the same point in your SOF journey, it's been a pleasure for us to be working with you all this week on your surveys and interviews. We hope that today's session will really help you hone your interview skills and also allow you to get a chance to know the other SOFers. Okay, you might be working on the same problem area, and if not, you'll also be exploring the other problem areas that your other co-members are working on. Hi, Darren. Hey, could you please turn on your camera? Yeah, hi, great. So, yes, hi, Salma. I'm just waiting for Sabrina, Darren, and Jerica to turn on their cameras. Yeah. All right. So before we start with our favorite game, that is the Chatter Fall, we will be doing a small energizer. Yes, thank you so much, Sabrina. So this is going to be something to do, it's called as a brain activity, okay, which all you need to do is put on your wrist in front of you, okay, and pull out your little finger out and your thumb out. Can you see, or is it blurred? Just let me know in case it's blurred. Okay, and then you need to bend this and then pull out this. So who can do this continuously without going wrong? Arav is out. Okay, so when you're out, I will turn off the camera. Okay, great. So again, so that was just a trial round. So Arav, I'll let you participate. Okay. Because I have to be really extra kind to you because you're my guest and you're our guest actually. So and I think Nikita has my students as her guests. So yes. So Again, pull out your wrist out and thumb out and the little finger out. Just let me know if it's blur. Maybe for this activity, I can change my background. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. And there you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Okay. Alessandra is out. Alessandra, if you turn on off your camera. Okay. Could you just, I'm not able to turn off your camera in case you guys are out. I don't know why. What's the thing? Okay, Yara is out. I'll have to tell out your name. It's okay, right? I mean, don't feel offended. It's all fun. Okay, Sabrina too. Arnav also. Tyron, where is your? I can't see your wrist. See some of you doing pretty well. Oh, Debasmita is acing. Darren out. Okay. Guys, be fair. Turn off your cameras when you're out. Sabrina, out. Turn off your camera. Rim, I can't see your wrist. Amine, out. Sorry, I'll just say turn off your camera. Okay. So I'll call it a name. You'll have to turn off your camera. Okay. Oh my God, now it's getting tougher. It's only 3 of you left. Evelina. Okay, so we've got 2 girls. Anjali out. Okay, so we've got our winner for the brain activity, Debasmita. Big round of applause for you. Yay. All of you can just give her a virtual clap. Yes. All right. So now we move on to our next activity. Now you all can turn on your cameras. Okay. So was it fun? Yes. If it was fun, you can give me a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thank you.
I had brain cells and they just died for me just doing this.
Okay, so if you really like this activity, you can give me a thumbs up. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Arnav, Evelina. Yeah, great. And Nada, thank you. Thank you, Darren. Okay, great. Oh, I see all the cameras on. So it's time for a screenshot. This is a big legendary day for us. Oh, but since I'm taking the screenshot, my face is coming a bit weird. So 5, 4, 3, 2. Yes. So we'll quickly move on to Chatterfall activity. And all of you can use.
Actually, instead of Chatterfall, let's do speedy rooms so that they get to know all. Yeah.
Awesome. So we have planned something really awesome for you guys today. So we are doing speedy rooms. Okay. And yes. So
what we basically do is we'll just randomly pair you up, and Megha will give you your first prompt. We'll also put it up on the chat just so that you know what the prompt is. And then you'll be broken into breakout rooms. You have 3 minutes to discuss the prompt. All right, over to Megha.
Right. So the first question is, what has been your favorite moment of the SOF journey till now? Okay, so you are going to be sent to your speedy rooms now. Are the rooms open?
Yes, they are. I'm going to also broadcast the message.
Yes, so the rooms are open and I want each of you to join there.
MNA, please join your room.
Portia is here.
Hey Portia, so I'm just going to put you in a room. We are doing speedy rooms, and what you're going to discuss is what are you going to discuss? To discuss one scary moment in. Actually, why don't you stay here with me, because I think if I want to add somewhere. Oh no, I can't. All right, there you go. Just join the room and discuss the prompt, which is one scary moment in school of future. Megha, I'll share the PPT after this, right?
Yeah, okay. Cool, no problem.
Huh.
We'll just
Yeah. So I'll give them the next prompt. Hey guys, hi Nanda. Nice to see
Hello.
you guys here early. I mean, I thought you guys would still want to talk more. Was the time enough? Did you feel like it wasn't enough?
Personally, we finished the prompt and we were just talking about random stuff.
awesome.
Okay, good. You should also get to know each other. All right. Brilliant. Now I'm going to give you your second and you will be shuffled, okay? Because we wanted to meet as many new people as possible. And your second prompt is the one question you want to ask out loud. So this is related, remember, to your next part, which is going to be the interview and the interview questions. So I'm going to put it in the chat as well. All right, I have in request from Arnav to say that we need more time in those chat rooms and in the breakout rooms, and I will respect that this time, Arnav. Your new rooms are created. You have your one there. I'm going to also put it up in broadcast. Go and explore new friends.
So I'll just quickly repeat the question. You will have about, say, 2 minutes for this. It says one question you want to ask out loud. They have already joined.
No problem. I'll put it in broadcast for them as well. Hey Darren and Emina, just go ahead and join your breakout rooms. How is your attendance? It's actually better than mine, I think.
Sorry?
Attendance.
Yeah, I have not filled it actually. मेरे को अभी I'll go ahead with the thing, निकी, मैं वो कर लूंगी. मेरे को थोड़ा डर लग रहा था ना, अभी मेरे को ठीक लग रहा है. मेरा क्या ना, थोड़ा एंजाइटी लेवल ऊपर नीचे हो रहा है. I'm just like
रुक जा, मेरे को पॉज करने दो.
okay.
One could be like mid-sentence and then
Right.
like
Yeah.
the thing just cuts us off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay.
Do you want to go on another one for a longer period? If you guys feel like that's what you want to do, we can again send you out and give you a longer time. And this time the prompt can be something much simpler so that you don't really have to worry so much. Does that work better?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, guys, fine. So, yeah, this sounds like a good prompt. Your prompt this time will be a simple one. It's going to be something you're impressed by. Something that one of your cohort members shared that you were impressed by. Okay, I'm putting it up on chat right now. And there, can you see it on chat?
Yeah.
One moment where you're impressed with someone else in your own cohort. I'm just going to make sure that it's a mix of people and not. I know in the last one, Arnav and Yara were in the same room, and it was just the two of them. Great, this looks like a better one. It is 7:40 by my clock. We'll see you back here, let's say in 10 minutes. Does that make it better?
7:42, 2 minutes. I think 2 minutes is good for one question. You guys can literally talk to each other as much as possible. So the question is one moment where you were impressed with someone else in your own cohort. Okay. See you guys. Yes, Darren and Sabrina, please join your rooms. Awesome. Babes, we'll give them about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, let them have their space, and then we'll quickly call them back, and we'll have to do that. Because major time needs to go in that interview. In that, we'll have to give them like 30 minutes to interview each other. So that time they can have...
तो मैं वही कह रही हूँ कि even if your second cohort starts, no, from the interview till the end, I am free. मेरा तो और कोई cohort है नहीं अभी. So
But
they are ready to stay. I say even after 8:30, like you go and start your new cohort, and वो interview तक मैं उनके साथ रह लूँगी. Because 9 o'clock भी अगर हम close करें, I'll be here with them.
But I want to stay. Also, I want to stay.
I know. But I also don't want to hurry them up and make them feel like खत्म करो.
मेरे को क्या रहता है, मतलब मैं literally I'm like shivering. Okay, if you come and touch me close, I'm literally shivering. But when I don't know, when I meet these kids, my thing only goes off.
I know. And today the 18th is also a fun.
Single time. The breakout rooms, we do not get enough time to talk. Seriously, we seriously do not get enough time to talk.
That's awesome. I really love the fact that you guys want to connect so much, and you will be given some time very soon at this contest itself. Okay. So now for the next one, okay, this is called as developing questions. Okay. So here, you'll have to grab quickly some paper and some, you can grab in a paper, pen, book, or lipstick, mirror, kajal, anything that you want to put your thoughts on. Okay. Yes. So I hope that's all ready. Great. Yes. Yeah. So all of you at this stage are working on surveys and interviews, and there are some important things to consider at this point. So as I'm going to be sharing some inputs, while I want you all to write down the questions that you're going to be using for the interviews for the problem you're solving. Okay. So based on your problem area, write questions based on pointers on a piece of paper. Okay. So my question is, what is the area with your problem, okay, that you're working on, that you feel that you know nothing about? Or it could be any problem, something outside your problem area also. Yeah. So what is the area with the problem I know nothing about? What is it I need to learn about in order to solve the problem better? Yeah. You can all give me a thumbs up once you're done, so that way I know who's where. And in case you're not clear, you can always feel free to ask me to repeat. Yeah, I see some good show of thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, Yara. Thank you, Aruna. Okay, now moving on to the next question. Okay, it's to do with the behavior, emotions, and real life instances. Okay. Tell me the last time you made an impulse purchase. How do you feel when you don't get your point across?
Wait, what are we supposed to do now?
So I'm throwing out some instances right now to this is to do with the behavior, emotions, and real life instances. Okay. And for example, you can tell me the last time you made an impulse purchase. And how did you feel when you don't get your point across? Moving on, now we're moving to some of the society questions. Okay. Now you can finally ask questions about other people or how the society handles things. Okay. So it can be pertaining to your problem or in general. Okay. But it'd be really nice if you do it pertaining to your problem, you know, like how, like, for example, if my problem is poverty, I would like to know how the society handles things pertaining to poverty. Yeah. Or there are two more examples on the screen. Yes. So once you're done, you could just probably show a thumbs up or any reaction should be fine. Anjali, are you done? Cool. Also, moving on to the next important aspect is becoming an active listener. 1, pay attention. 2, show that you are listening. It's very important while you're having an interview. If you're serving somebody, you want them to feel important, and you want them to feel that whatever they're saying, it's important to you as well, right? And provide feedback. 4 would be defer judgment. 5 would be respond appropriately.
Can you elaborate more on deferring judgment, please?
Sure. What I mean by point 4, that is defer judgment, is don't judge. Make sure that you are actually aware of what someone is saying, and you're not immediately ignoring them or making your own judgment. Yeah, and I can also explain the point 3 for those who have not understood. Provide feedback, like it can be a subtle eye contact or a nod or any positive gesture, rather than just detailed responses. And to the last one, respond appropriately. This means that essentially this is about ensuring that you will be open-hearted and listening to the story that we are being told. And also, while you're getting some responses, it's a pro tip that do not be biased by their responses, as to don't share it out loud as to whether you agree or disagree, or you would want them to agree on something just because you feel that it's important, right? Now let's move on to the next part. So are you all done with this? You can just show me a thumbs up. Thank you, Debasmita. Moving on to the next aspect, why do people ask questions? Yes, thank you, Portia. Thank you, Anjali. So the other skill that you need to have while you're interviewing someone is knowing how to ask good questions. Yes. So why do people ask questions? Type out a few thoughts that come out in your mind in the chat box. Okay. As you can see, some of the reasons that people ask questions may actually be really unhelpful, or could be, not very necessary in getting the information out that they want, can be probably irrelevant or relevant. Yeah. So what's the difference between helpful and not very helpful questions while doing an interview? What are the good and the bad questions? Now we're moving on. So these are some of the thoughts. Okay, I would call this as word bubble, or it can also be told as, you can also, so these are the things that we have collectively done. You can also have some prompts out in the chat box. Yes, I see I sending. People are curious. Good one, I. Anybody else who wants to put their thoughts in the chat box, please feel free. Yeah. To learn about different opinions. Good one, Selma. To gather story about how people really deal with the problem. Yes, that's true. That's the intention. To gain experiences, right? To gain insights. Well done. I see a lot of thoughts coming out here. I'm sorry if I've not named someone, but I think everybody is doing exceptionally well. Amor, Alessandra, Yara, great. now that I see a lot of thoughts flowing, and I see that all of you have already turned on your thinking caps on, right? And so we will be moving on to the next set of questions, which I will be passing on to Nikita.
Right. Before I do jump into the next questions, remember the question that Yara asked about what not, the judgment that you shouldn't be making, and that particular slide that Megha spoke about where you're supposed to listen, take cues from what your interview is saying, and then go forward. In the interest of that, I'm going to share a short video. And before I go into what are good questions, what are bad questions, I want you to look at the video and tell me what you think could have been done differently. Okay. Hopefully, you will be able to hear this. So I'm just going to go into my system. Yes, that works. All right.
See me? Yeah. So,
Let me know if you can't hear this, okay? I am going to share screen and show you the video, but sometimes, okay. Can you hear this?
describe your
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yes, Nikita, it's clear.
So, the first question, describe your current role. Yes.
It's not very audible, Nikita.
Dealership data for service parts, air orders, things of that nature. We support the client by processing this data that comes in, raw data, and then putting it out to you at I'm working with software engineers and engineers, working primarily on the mediums to handle customer requests.
Oh, but like, describe it in your, like, in your own perspective. Like, how do you feel about your job?
My own perspective, what I'd say we do. We push around numbers. We get these numbers over here, and then we make them to these numbers. And we do that because we look at the system that is focused on that kind of measurement. Accounting, finance, and whatnot. These sectors are dominating. So that's what's going on. How I feel about that. I mean, it can be a lot better. But it is what it is. There's so much more than it. So, there's some negatives. Sure. I don't think that that's just my job. I think if you're working at Amazon, it's not very different. The same thing, it's just more of a higher caliber or whatnot. But it's all pretty much that same thing.
Okay, so the second question is, how is your time spent throughout the day between passion and duties?
Passion. So, first thing we need to talk about what passion is. It's very complicated. And I don't think this is just my own interpretation, guessing. Passion is something that attracts you, something that consumes you, but not in a way that's consuming like anything. It's consuming because you're in that world. There's nothing else you'd rather do. Thought is completely past. experience so there's you're not getting 50-50 cash most of the time you're answering emails or filling out some stuff for governance or waiting on a task or messaging, find the right words to get this big complicated thing together so that you can focus in on the task. There are times when cash primarily thing that you're in a project that you're in the moment, like what you're doing. Those kind of come and they kind of take a long time. So it's difficult. It varies, but most of the time it's been cash.
So what are you passionate about? Yeah.
Well, I would say that personally, this kind of passion. Music, entertainment.
Okay, I'm going to stop that there. Just by, you can put your hands up. Oh my God, that sounded like a hostage situation. That's not what I meant. I meant that you could raise your hands on chat and we will go one by one. If you have any, how could this interview go better? Like, what was the interviewer perhaps not doing right or could improve upon? Just raise your hands and we'll go one by one. Otherwise, I'm just going to call on people. All right, calling on people it is. Darren, what do you think the interviewer could have done better?
I couldn't hear anything, to be honest.
You couldn't hear anything at all. Oh my God.
None
We
of us
all
could hear
had to
anything.
chat about it. We can't hear it.
Yeah.
Why didn't you say something?
You see, we're trying, innit?
No. I mean, don't say it on chat because when the screen is being shared, I don't have access to chat. So now I can see that you didn't hear anything. Anyway, I'm going to give a rough gif of what was happening. So this interviewer had a set of questions prepared, all right, and she went into this interview fully prepared, knowing exactly what she wanted to ask. But that was her strength and her weakness because while she was sticking to her questions, she wasn't really listening to what the other person was saying. And therefore, the way she led the interview forward, it became very one dimensional that, okay, tell me this, tell me that. Whereas what the interviewer was saying was taking her in a different direction. Now, to make sure that we don't do this and we actually listen to each other, we are going to quickly do one round of. Actually, I'll do this exercise towards the end, right before I put you guys in breakout rooms. Before that, I'm going to finish off what bad questions are. Some of this is very, I mean, I'm sure that I've had conversations, I know, with my own cohort. Aha, nada. Some questions should add up. That means, I'm trying to see what you're saying, nada. Also, feel free to just unmute and say it and not type it out. Some questions should add up. That means adding questions that you didn't plan for the sake of leading the convo. Exactly. You need to listen to what the person is saying. All right. I'm going to very quickly run you through some slides, but after that, we'll do a quick listening exercise so that we also realize what listening really means. Now, there are good questions and bad questions, just like Megha told you. What is a good question? A good question is something that leads the person to ask, something that's not a yes and no answer. Because if you ask them a yes and no question, possibilities are that it's going to really end, the interview is going to end really quickly. And the biases that Megha was talking about, also remember that when you start an interview, the person in front of you should not know what the interview is about, because the moment they know what you want them to say, they are going to say exactly that. Like, I have done this all my childhood, that I know what the teacher wants to hear, and therefore I answer exactly that. Whether I believe in it or not is something that I don't even think about. So, for the sake of convenience, we're going to take climate change as an example for these slides, right? So, if I was conducting an interview on climate change and I went and asked somebody, hey, what do you think about climate change? Chances are that everybody's 90% of the people are going to say, yes, it's a problem. Nobody's going to say, no, I don't think it exists, or things like that, right? So don't ask very direct questions. Instead, ask questions that really ask personal questions, ask questions that explore the people themselves. So if you are asking somebody about climate change and you want to see that, okay, what are the practices that this person does that may or may not add to climate change, you can ask somebody, hey, tell me about your day. What mode of transportation do you use? How do you go to office? How many appliances do you own? So ask them really deeper questions about their personal lives. Firstly, because people love talking about their personal life, and therefore the data that you collect is going to be more. And secondly, because in terms of quality, is going to be much truer than a regular set of yes and no questions. All right. Also, I'm just going to remind you guys, I don't have access to chat. So if you have any questions, ask now, or I move to the next slide and then we can take questions then. Yeah.
I'm
All
actually
right.
confusing judging with giving feedback. I mean, isn't it the same thing? Especially if you're like giving looks or whatever. Like, what's the difference between giving feedback and judging?
So as an interviewer, I think you're just not allowed to judge. You're just not allowed. I'm so sorry. Yeah. But so for example, the opening three questions, or the opening 3 to 5 questions, have to be friendly questions. They can't be attacking questions. You can't start a conversation by saying, hey, why do you use so much plastic? That can't be your opening, because the moment you've done that, your interview is just going to shut down, because they're going to feel attacked and think, oh my god, this person is trying to blame me for all the climate change that's happening, whereas I don't do, like, I don't contribute to it at all. And also, so that's why judgment is something that's the last on your priority list. Even, and but Yara, to be honest, it's a very human thing. Like, we judge even without realizing that we are judging. But the only thing is to be aware of it and let that voice, like, tell that voice, hey, it's okay, like, I know you're human, but let's take a back seat and we'll come to you a little later. So, like, be aware of your mind making judgments. That's going to happen anyway, but tell that voice to come in later, and tell the researcher in you to take forefront, like the driver's seat. And to get to the truth, the researcher can't judge, because if the interviewer, or the interviewee rather, the person you're interviewing, gets even the slightest hint that they're being judged, they're going to immediately just shut and not give you the information that you would require. Was that a little clearer?
I still don't know the difference between judging and like giving your opinion.
So when you give feedback, always, um, judging has a sort of negative connotation to it, which means that, and feedback has a positive connotation, right? Judging means deciding something for somebody, like just telling yourself that this person is like this. Feedback is actually a conversation. It includes two people. So you're not, feedbacks aren't, okay, think of them this way. Judgment is a full stop, and a feedback is a dot, 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 which means a feedback is more of a conversation. You're trying to, and it's always constructive. Like, you're trying to understand this person. This person may have completely different point of views. Like, if you are working with climate change, I might give you, or I might set up an interview for you with somebody who owns a petrol company, right? And so in the very ethic of it, that you would imagine that, oh my God, this person doesn't give a damn about climate change. But that's not true. And that's where the feedback loop comes in, that you have to really try to understand why is the person doing what they're doing. Maybe their priorities are different. Maybe they realize that, okay, we need energy, therefore we need petroleum, but I'm also trying to set off the carbon emission through something else, right? So a judgment is a full stop and a feedback is a dot, dot, dot. Does that make it a little clearer?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And that's exactly what our next slide was about. It's what's the assumption or judgment we are making? What's the bias that we are bringing to the
I
interview?
have a question too.
Go, Nada.
So
I'm guessing that's Nada.
as a
Yeah.
oh my God, you recognize my as an interviewee, like the person getting interviewed, are we allowed to ask as much questions as the interviewer is asking?
Mm, are you getting interviewed or are you asked, like, are you interviewing?
No, I'm getting interviewed, but I have questions to ask them.
That's a really strange question. Of course, you can ask questions as long as you're also answering the questions that they're asking. Because if you've agreed to be interviewed, then the idea is that you've agreed to answer questions rather than ask questions. Do you understand? The pre-agreement, like before you decide to go on an interview, it's sort of a mutual agreement that I'm here to answer your questions and you are here to ask me questions. You can have questions on the way and you can of course ask those questions as well, but they can't be just as many as the interviewer asks you, because that would be it would be a strange situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, great. So what's the assumption, the bias, or the judgment that we bring in? As I said, don't ask attacking questions. Ask, like you see the new question, the way the question has been rephrased as to walk me through your process of grocery shopping. This is going to get you more honest answers because A, it shows people that you genuinely care about their daily life, and B, it will give you the kind of data that you're looking for. You will understand what are the energy sources, energy consumption, carbon emission that is included in this person's daily life, and that is more true data than if you actually ask somebody how many hours do you use the car. They're probably not going to tell you the truth because that is sort of a blaming question. So lead with questions that ask them about their daily lives. See, that's basically how we do it. Instead of asking why do you buy groceries so much plastic, just ask them, walk me through your process of grocery shopping. These are just similar questions, right? These you can work on. Actually, let's take a few examples. Why do we normalize women needing protecting from men? um, what is a better way of answering this or asking this question? Remember, I can't see your hands raised, so just unmute and go. The assumption in this statement, when I say why do we normalize women needing protecting from men, the assumption in this statement is that everybody thinks that women need protecting from men, right? That's the assumption I'm making. That may not be true. So a better way of asking this question can be, do you think women can be trained to protect themselves? Over here, I'm not blaming the gender of men at all. Like, it's not a comparison then about who is protecting whom. It's just about women protecting themselves. Does that make it slightly clearer?
Can we even ask, like, do women need protection, like something like that? Because it
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
some women
And
think, no, we don't need protection. We are capable of protecting ourselves. So it's like they take it as an insult also at times. So I guess it's
exactly.
good to ask them if they think they need protection or if they think women need protection. And then we can collect as many opinions and as many views as we can.
Lovely. I'm guessing this is either Anjali or Debasmita, but brilliant way of rephrasing that. Very good. That's what I'm talking about. That you don't assume that women need protecting. That's the first assumption there. and you just ask, hey, do women even need protecting? Like, is that, why are we even talking about this, right? All right. Second prompt, shouldn't men be the ones we should try stopping these acts of violence? My God, these are very... See, this is what I mean. It's an attacking question. It's a question that if you ask a man, he's just going to shut down and not answer any of your interview questions. So the biggest assumption in this, if you start a question with shouldn't you, shouldn't we, it means that you've already had a judgment. You are just looking for a validation. But that's not what an interview is about. You're not seeking validation in an interview. You're actually seeking questions. All right? So remember that. Again, like the person who spoke before said, there are multiple ways of rephrasing it so that it doesn't sound like a attacking question. Why doesn't the government? These are all validation questions. These are all questions where you are just sort of seeking validation for your own assumption. Don't do that. Great. This was the interview video. Now they're actually doing quite okay. Okay, was someone saying something? Great. We are going to, we have 10 minutes because at 8:30, I'm going to break you guys up into breakout rooms. Each of you will be paired up with one person. We have 7 people here from 17.2 and 9 people here from 17.1. So 7 of you will have new cohort partners, whereas sadly, the 17.1, I think one pair will have same cohort partners. All right, before that, we're going to play that exercise about how we listen carefully, okay? And this exercise is called yes and. All right, so it's sort of a story building exercise. I say one sentence and then whoever goes, and then I forward it on. So let's say I say, once upon a time there was a tree in a forest, and I pass it on to Debasmita. She has to start the next sentence with yes and then whatever she wants to add, and then she passes it on to someone who again says yes and whatever. So you really have to listen to what the person before you is saying, okay? And that is why this is a listening exercise, because together as a group, you will come up with a story, but it completely depends on being very carefully listening to what people are adding. All right, so let's go with that. I'm going to start and I'm going to say that once upon a time, there was a old banyan tree, and I pass it to Darren.
Yes, and he had a lot of green leaves. I'm passing it to Nada.
Yes, and Ben was trying to water the tree that day, as in a sunny morning. I'm passing it to Selma.
Yes, and he noticed when he wanted to go out that it was already raining. And I'm passing it to Arnav.
And then miscellaneously, a car came and crashed into the tree. I'm passing it to Yara.
Ben soon figured out a cure for cancer and now he's running away from the government. I'll pass it on to Jerica.
Yes, and his parents got killed by an assassin that was in the government trying to find the kid. I'll pass it on to Portia.
Yes, and the government got fired and another tree was planted in memorial of the tree that got crashed. I will pass it on to Tyrone.
Wait, what? Yes, and uh, the tree got uh killed by a cat. I don't know. I'll pass it on to I'll pass it on to Evelina.
Yes, and the boy is still living in the tunnels underneath the tree, hiding from the government. And I'll pass it to Devasmita.
Yes, and the boy thought he should be planting more trees, more than one, so that even if one is crashed or anything happens, it doesn't look like all trees are vanished. And I'll pass it on to Anjali.
Yes, and he decided to plant several different types of trees. And I'll give it to Alessandra.
Yes, and with all these trees, they created a new park where everyone goes there and they are happy with that. I pass it to Rim.
Yes, and they were trying to find some more people so they can plant more trees. And I will pass to IG or so Bolari.
E. Yes, and the boy decided to create an organization to plant trees and create parks all over the world. I'll pass it to. Has Darren gone? Selma.
Should I continue or because I already was picked?
Okay, I think everybody's gone once already. And actually, that was
I think Amor hasn't gone.
Oh, Amor, you can go next.
And yes, with all the parks that he was able to create, he was able to solve climate change. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I am so impressed that with so many twists and so many turns, you actually managed to like conclude the story, like have a sensible ending. Of course, the government got fired in the middle, and I don't know what all happened in the middle. But you were listening to each other. You were building off each other. So the moment you say yes and it's moving in the same direction as the person in front of you. And that's great. Okay, so now I have created your breakout rooms. One room will have 3 people because we are an odd number of people. All the others I've paired you up with somebody from the other cohort. If you have any questions, ask me now. What you're supposed to do for the next half an hour is so 15 minutes per person. Also, this time I'm going to definitely take all your cribbing into account. And if you need more time, I will give you more time. So around the end of half an hour, I'm going to ask you guys if it's okay. If it's not, we take another 15, 20, whatever minutes required. But you will help. This is like a mock interview, okay? So you're going to ask questions. I hope all of you came with the 5 questions that I asked you to come with. You're going to ask questions to the other person and then do the feedback loop. Remember, in feedback, you first say things that you liked about the person's way of asking, all right? And, oh, wow, yes, Nara, I feel bad for your partner in the room. The second, so you highlight things that you liked, then you talk about things that could be done better. Don't say these are the things I hated. Like, don't use terms like hated. You always say these are the things that could be done better. All right. And then again, this is something that we call as a sandwich sandwich way of giving feedback. You start with the good, then you talk about things that could be done better, and then you talk about things that again highlight what was the best thing about the interview, like what did it make you feel. So the ending is always about feeling, like it made me feel welcome, it made me curious, it made me inquisitive. So end with how the interview made you feel. All right. When you're in the middle of the sandwich and you're telling people what they could have done better, feel free to also tell them that, hey, this part really didn't work, so maybe rethink this. Like, be really constructive, give them honest feedback, because that's the only way each of you are going to grow. I have a feeling that this will take up more than half an hour, but for the time being, I'm opening the rooms for half an hour. Any questions before I open the breakout rooms?
Nikita,
Yes.
I'm so sorry, but I already told you, I think, but I have to go now. It's 5 p.m. now.
Yeah. Rim, you did tell me that. Okay, that makes sense. I can move somebody up to your room.
I'm so sorry. Have a nice day,
No, don't.
everybody.
All right. Thanks,
Bye.
Rim. Bye.
Bye.
All right. That makes sense. Now we are even people, and we will have even number of. Except again, there's one room that will have 2 people from 17.1. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. If no questions, I've opened your rooms. Go for half an hour. Chill. I'm here. If you have any doubts, you can just come back and ask me. Hey, Darren. If you can just join room number 1. Nada is waiting for you there, I think. Darren? Wait! For half an hour, I am free! Oh. Hello and welcome back. I hope that was enough time, and I hope you guys have moved forward from where you were before. All right. If now I'm going to tell you what the actual contest this week is, because we do have a contest for you. There is. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you something. There you are. Can all of you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I asked you to take notes during the interview, because what we want you to do is create a poster of of the person that you interviewed, what were the keywords, what were the ideas that were brought up during the interview, and what were your key insights. Okay, feel free to add more to this. If you have ideas that you want to play around with, And instead of a poster, let's say you want to do a reel, all of that is possible. Okay. One of the tools that I think, so in this entrepreneurship journey, I think, especially in the world that we live in, it's really important to also learn technology as we are learning other skills. And that is why I would encourage most of you or all of you to use Canva, which is a really easy tool. It's an app on App Store that you can get. It's also a website. It's Canva, and it just allows you to make posters really easily. The reason I'm asking you to do this is because when you do finally get on to making your own companies and your own ventures, you will find that tools like Canva help you immensely in marketing. And in today's world, marketing is basically what makes or breaks a business. So the contest is that you make out a poster, put it on your social media. You can tag the person that you interviewed. You must tag School of Future. And from now to Monday, let us know how many likes you've got on the poster. You can also actually go ahead and try to make it a little interactive, ask people if they agree or disagree. Um, Try to engage as much audience as possible so that you can also get leads on who to interview and who not to interview. So while you put up the poster, you could also put up a prompt saying, do you know anybody? Do I have to post this? Okay. No, no, you don't. I mean, if you're not comfortable posting it, that's all right. I want you all to do one thing though. I want you all to understand ethics of business engagement. So before you put out your poster out into the world, um, find your partner, whoever your partner was on Discord, and let them approve it. Because sometimes misquoting people can be one of the biggest mistakes that we do. Yes, Salma, I'm going to come to your question. So the task is that you make a poster, get a consent on whether it communicates what you've exchanged correctly or not. Put it up on whatever social media you want to, and see how much community engagement you can generate. Yes, you can communicate on Discord enough. All right, Salma, what's your question?
Okay, so I wanted to know, you said we should put the poster up on social media. Well, what if like my social media is not like about what if I have not as like developed the social media for my business, so I don't have like any platform?
It it so generally on Instagram, it's a good idea to have a business account and a personal account so that both of those stay different. If you don't have a business account, that's fine. You can also float it on your own personal account, or you could simply just circulate this within your family network, family and friends through WhatsApp, whatever media, whatever mode it is that you're comfortable with. You could just put it up as a story on your WhatsApp and ask people, do you know more people like this I could interview? It's just so that people also, I'll tell you why we do this. It's so that your own community, because you might be working with problems that deal with the world, but the final impact that is going to start is going to be your own community, right? And at this stage, it's a good idea to start letting people know that you're thinking about this problem. Also, to it makes it easier to find collaborators. I won't be surprised if someone came up to you and said, hey, Salma, I heard you're working with, for example, pets. There's this other person who's also passionate about this and has been working for a while. And then you could combine ideas and, just allows you to think more wider. And that's why I just want you to circulate it within your communities. Doesn't have to be Insta or FB. It could be just WhatsApp. You could just send it to your own family, in fact, and ask them what they think. Um, it's just so that you get to interview more people and get deeper insight. Yeah.
Okay, and well, but should I ask them like, my interview questions, or should they even know the topic that the poster is about, or do they just get the poster and how are they supposed to interact with it?
When you make the poster, it is a good idea to title it so that people know what the interview was about. And that is how they will know what it was about. How do you get them to interact? It could be a simple, do you have an opinion about this sort of thing, right? Also, as I said, it could be reels. It could be you talking for a 20-second video where you say, hey, I had this amazing opportunity to interview this person, and we spoke about climate change, and it's really got me thinking about in our daily lives, how much do the equipments that we have at home, how much power do they consume? What do you think? It could be something as simple as that. Does that make it like clear your doubt a little bit, Salma?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Great. If we have no more doubts, all right, Arnav.
I have a doubt. Yeah, sorry. So, could you like create like zones for like our partners and stuff on like Discord?
I just don't think you have access to them, but I will open up access. I'll give you guys permission so you
Yeah.
get in touch with each other on Discord. You're all on Discord. It's just you're on different channels, and I think it's a permissions thing. Oh yeah, and of course you can just DM them on Discord. Then you don't need my permissions or whatever at all. Okay, now before I close, I do want to announce something. This is something that I've started with my other cohort, and I thought I'd just share it with both the cohorts over here. Each of you have a lot of skill sets that you bring to the table. Skill sets that we generally don't get time to explore in these Saturday contests because they have their own agenda. So what I highly encourage is create your own WhatsApp groups. And if you feel like apart from this Saturday contest, you guys just want to chill one evening, even if it's just playing games online, or maybe let's say, for example, okay, so one of my kids from the other cohort is a genius with Discord. Like he can do stuff with Discord that even I can't. And he hosted a session where he just invited Discord and said, hey, I'm going to do a Discord demo for half an hour. If you guys want to just come and chill, please do so. So that's something that I would encourage you all to do. I know that Arnav and Yara have, actually, this is a great platform to announce it if you guys don't mind. Arnav and Yara have started a lovely, and Valentina have started a lovely podcast. And I think they host it every Sunday, something like that. Remember, we teach you skills for 100 days, but these are skills that we hope you're going to use in every part of your life, even here on. All right, also Nada. So something like the podcast, just informally meet up because that's what we want. We want you to make a global connection of entrepreneurs who think differently. All right. Great, guys. This has been amazing. If I have no more doubts, no more questions, then I think that's it from my side. Okay. Have a good weekend. Oh, okay. Yes, someone's asking something.
Could you please show the poster once, like a demo poster?
Sure, of course. What I could also do is I could put this up on your Discord channels. I mean, I can ask Megha to put it up on 17.1s, and you can also just take a screenshot of this, but I will also share it on our 17.2s. Again, meet more informally, get to know each other, and exchange skills. That's the note I want to leave you all at. Have a lovely weekend, guys. I am so happy to see you all. Generally, you're like the highlight of my week. All right, that's it from my side. Take care. I hope all of you have gotten some insight on your projects. Yeah? Okay. Good night. Bye. Go have lunch, dinner, whatever.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.